Very bright. So hi everybody, I think we're about to get started. This is INV 106, IBM Unified Communications and Collaboration Strategy and Roadmap. If you're not here to learn about same time, this would be the right time to quietly sneak out the back of the room and we'll all promise not to notice. Before we go anywhere with the presentation, we are required to discuss the disclaimer. You should not listen to anything we actually say. In the event that you actually do hear something we say, you should not believe it. And if you tell anyone else about it, IBM lawyers have authorized us to deny this session ever took place. So my name is John Del Pizzo. I am Program Director for the Unified Communications and Collaboration Software segment. So I run the product management team for Same Time. And if any of you read the Same Time blog, you'll know that we have a new executive director by the name of Caleb Barlow. Now, Caleb is a very sharp guy. He's picked up a lot in his last couple of months on the job. And like any executive, he kind of feels the need to add value. So he's really focused in on the video conferencing space and some of the social dynamics that get involved around video conferencing. And against the recommendation of me, my team, the marketing department, business development, the development team, and just about everyone else at IBM, he's going to introduce to you today a whole new line of exciting accessories for video conferencing from IBM.
One of the things that really has us focused on video conferencing, and frankly, one of the areas that we think significant development is required. We found that video conferencing is becoming more and more ubiquitous. It's, cameras are now available on your laptop, on your phone, on tablets. But, we found that video conferencing seems to be somewhat stifled. And we couldn't figure out why until we did some research. And I'd like to show you a video of why we found adoption of video conferencing was being held back in certain geographies. John, could you run the video?
These are those numbers. Not too sure about this here.
Is this the new spreadsheet from Bill?
Sure is.
I didn't understand them either. Why don't we start a conference call and see if we can discuss them?
Yeah, let's do that.
Good morning there, friend. How are you? I got a conference call. Good morning there, friend. How are you?
So, the first and foremost, I think the biggest product you'll want to buy this year, and let's get a little more comfortable, is the Instant Shirt for your video conferencing. So a special thanks to Carl Tyler and the folks at Apelio for not only creating the video, but creating the latest fashion accessory for Same Time. All kidding aside, well, actually, I've got a question for all of you. How many of you have once been in that situation on an audio call? Oh, come on, you're all lying. We know you've all been there at least once. All right, so all kidding aside, find, reach, collaborate. Today, you've heard a lot about what it means and the value behind becoming a social business. Many of those messages, however, you've heard over time in the unified communications and collaboration realm. Tapping into expertise throughout your organization to respond to customers and partners faster than the competition. Engaging your customers in new ways and building deeper relationships. Accessing the best talent anywhere in the globe. Creating nimble, engaged, and a transparent corporate culture. Moving into this role with responsibility for IBM's UCC business, I find many people are talking about what is the future of UC Squared. Some have a rather narrow view that the future will be found in the movement from traditional on-premise PBXs to voice over IP. Others believe the future is in the soon-to-be ubiquitous nature of voice and video. I happen to think these are both part of the answer, but I firmly believe that working together, we will all find that the biggest value to be derived from this will be found at the intersection of unified communications and collaboration and social business. You see, UC squared is the action behind your social business. Now, what do I mean by that? It's the set of tools you use when you need to do business now. Blogs, wikis, forums, Quicker, Facebook, Connections, Notes and Domino, Portal. These are all powerful tools. They help you find people, collaborate, make decisions, manage teams, among many other things. But at some point, you need to take action on all that information coming at you and communicate. Whether it's new information on Twitter about your competition, a blog post from a customer, or an urgent or emergency situation that you need to respond to right now. Same Time is the adaptive business communications tool behind your social business. It allows you to establish communications right now. From voice and video, or even a simple instant message or web conference, Same Time allows you to find the right people and bring them together, regardless of the mode of communication, their physical location, or the device they happen to be on. Same Time and UC squared is the action behind your social business. So to start this conversation, John, why don't we take a little review here of how we did in 2010?
Thanks, Caleb. Now, we had a fantastic year in 2010. We were very, very, very happy with our performance. And one of the first numbers I want to point out to you is the number over here on your far right-hand side, 26.5 million. That's the number we've grown the install base of Same Time users to. And for my analyst friends in the audience, I'll point out that that's 2.5 million new users and about 20% more new users we added in 2010 than we've added in the last number of years. We've been running at about 2 million users a clip before that. So we're seeing accelerated growth within the Same Time platform. And part of the reason we think we're seeing that kind of growth is the number you see at the bottom of the screen. For 4 years running, 30% of our new customers have come from Microsoft shops. These are folks without any Notes or Domino whatsoever. They're all using Outlook or Exchange for their email. And actually, we're lowballing that number for this year. The reality was it was 37% of our new customers came from Microsoft environments. And we think that really validates the vision that we've laid out. It validates the investments we've made in multiple platforms, in open standards, and interoperability, because it's not just Notes customers. It's not just an add-on to Notes anymore, but it's a true unified communications and collaboration platform that's open to almost everyone. Now, there are a couple other important stats that are up here as well. We found some research firms, Synergy Research, that quoted Same Time as having 51% market share for enterprise instant messaging in North America, 49% in Europe, so traditional strongholds for Same Time. But also, Frost & Sullivan has ascribed global market share lead to IBM and Same Time for on-premises web conferencing. So we've got a growing business. We're strong in the areas, traditional areas we've always worked in, and we're very happy about that. But there's actually a more important number. This one, 68%. For a long time, we've gotten up here and said Same Time is not just instant messaging. It's not just web conferencing. Well, in 2010, 68% of the licenses that our customers bought were either Same Time Advanced or Same Time Unified Telephony. That says you're getting the message. You understand it's not just instant messaging. It's voice, it's video, it's community collaboration with groups of users that maybe you don't know personally, but you need a question answered and you need it real time, and they've got that expertise. Well, that's where Same Time Advanced fits. It's integrating voice services and being able to be reached no matter where you are into your collaboration environment, and that's where SUT fits. So we think, again, we had a great 2010. Now,
John, actually, let me ask you a question about that.
Sure.
So 68% of our customers are now, moving or buying or deploying SUT in advance. Isn't there an important part of the message here that if you're not on SUT, if you haven't deployed advanced, it's really time this year to start laying out the plans to move up the stack? Because let's face it, this is the area where we're really going to be focusing on the intersection with social business.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's part of what we've put together here. We've built out a checklist, really a roadmap for you of how do you use unified communications in a social business. What are the steps you need to be taking now and really over the next 18 to 24 months to be well positioned to take advantage of these capabilities. Now, the first one is obviously very foundational. You need to deploy Same Time 8.5. Now, we introduced Same Time 8.5 just over a year ago, so December 2009. And when we did it, we had a couple of key goals in mind. One, we wanted to make meetings that were really easy to use. In our experience, too much time was lost in the first 10 minutes of every meeting just trying to get into it and get everybody else into it, sharing URLs and meeting passcode numbers and identifiers, etc. So we built a system that was really easy to get into, really easy to bring other people into, and quite frankly, just a lot of fun to use. But we didn't just stop with meetings and sharing web slides. We focused on audio, video, and a rich meeting experience. So we completely redid the audio-video infrastructure behind SameTime and made it much more standards-based. And this has really helped our partners build innovative solutions that make SameTime a first-class endpoint into their audio and video conferencing systems. We also laid out a whole new set of APIs, so it became very easy to put SameTime into your products. For example, you can drop a SameTime Connect client, a web-based client, into your web page on your portal site to collaborate with folks in and outside of the company, really with just a couple of lines of code. So I'm very pleased to report that for SameTime A5, having been out a year, the adoption has been overwhelming. This is by far the fastest adoption of SameTime, any version of SameTime we've ever had. It's 20% faster than SameTime 8.0 and 10% faster than SameTime 7.5. And according to many of our customers, 7.5 was the gold standard by which they hold up and evaluate other SameTime versions. The other thing that we're really proud of is we think we hit the mark when it came to the meeting experience. And if you take a look at the graph here, this is from Forrester. They did an evaluation of both on-premises and hosted web services, web conferencing services, and you can see where they position SameTime in that leadership area within their wave. So we think we've got the right products, the right kinds of strategy, and our customers, you're telling us we're doing the right kinds of things. Now let me just take a moment and touch on a couple of customers and what they're doing with SameTime 8.5. Some of these, Carestream, Teradyne, Continental, and Fresenius, really all tell the same story. Different customers, different industries, but the same basic scenario. They're using web conferencing, they're using hosted, they're using on-premises, they've got this mismatch of different kinds of systems, and it's expensive. It's very expensive to maintain those monthly subscriptions to those online meeting services. They wanted to consolidate and get everybody on the same platform. They wanted something that was easy to use, and they wanted to try and save some money. Now, they evaluated a lot of different offerings, and they chose SameTime, specifically for the meeting capabilities. What have they told us so far? The users have picked it up with virtually no training. They've been very easy, very few support costs in getting the end users up to speed on how to use the new system. They told us they're saving a bundle, $400,000 to $500,000 a year in just the pilot scenarios on their online meeting expenses they used to pay. They expect to save 40 to 50% of their audio conferencing fees because of the voice over IP that's built into SameTime. Right? So these are customers, and quite frankly, they even get the rest of the SameTime collaboration capabilities for free, because the meetings transition alone paid for the entire implementation in less than a year. So these are some customers that are really saving quite a bit of money and delivering a new experience to their users, based on SameTime. But it's not just about saving money. There are companies like LVM, insurance company out of Germany. They're not only using SameTime to collaborate internally, they've got their internal subject matter experts connecting with their agents, their insurance agents in the field, connecting with their customers in online meetings in order to answer questions about policies, resolve claim issues. I mean, this is really about being a social business, and it's a great example of being a social business. And finally, the last customer we want to hit on is the city of Fort Worth. As a few of you from the US might know, the Super Bowl is being played next week. Go Packers. It's been 3.5 years in Pittsburgh. I can't root for the Steelers. It just doesn't work. So in any case, the Super Bowl is being played in the city of Fort Worth, down in Dallas. And SameTime is going to be playing a key role in maintaining security and delivering emergency support services during that event. They're actually using SameTime in conjunction with a partner plugin from Unified Edge Radio Connect. They've linked in the IP telephony systems and the radio systems from the surrounding counties into one joint emergency operations center that actually went live today. So they're going to be managing all of the emergency services, security services through SameTime, talking live over the radios, over voice over IP, over instant messaging to all of the first responders that are set up in and around the Super Bowl area. And I think that's just a great application.
Let's talk about our ever-growing partner community. There are over 20 of UC-focused partners demoing downstairs on the show floor. And I want to highlight a few of the partner solutions for you to be sure to check out. Video is well positioned to become ubiquitous, and not because of our little stunt earlier. Not only do we see continued growth in high-end room systems, but high-definition cameras and audio are becoming pervasive in many different types of devices. I want to point out new video integration from vendors like Avastar, iLink for Tandberg, Radvision, and Polycom that you saw in the opening general session this morning. With these solutions, end users can easily join a video conference from any of these vendors using their SameTime client. By leveraging SIP standards, SameTime can be a first-class endpoint to your existing or new video conferencing investment. There are also a new set of partners focused on bringing SameTime into communications-enabled business processes. They recognize the open APIs and toolkits that make it easy to bring SameTime into their environment as a first-class citizen. Now, John mentioned Unified Edge and Radio Connect being used at the Super Bowl. Yes, SameTime is going to the Super Bowl. This is one of the many partner solutions that's been updated to work with SameTime 8.5, and I think it's an excellent example of the sophistication of communications-enabled business process that you can build using SameTime. I'd also like to mention a few of our other partners and a few of the other integration points with telephony vendors like Avaya and ShoreTel, contact center providers like Genesys. And lastly, I want to point out new plugins from our device partners like Plantronics that are delivering truly exceptional experiences, like not only controlling the call from your headset, but actually providing presence information back into SameTime so that users can tell whether or not you're on the phone, simply by putting on your headset. Okay, so if we go to our what to do slide here, a couple of things that you should think about and a couple of sessions you should consider attending. One I want to point out in particular is AD 307, Application Development with SameTime and the SDK. This session in particular will give you all the information you need to help integrate SameTime into your environment. I also want to again emphasize the importance of moving to SameTime 8.5, Advanced, and SUT. This is where we're putting the bulk of our investment, new capabilities, and this is where the intersection with social business will occur. So take this as a big hint. And if you're not upgraded or not actively deploying or in pilot with SUT, let's use this Lotusphere as the opportunity to lay down a plan together. Here are a few of the sessions over the next couple days that will give you information on what I'm talking about. So now that we've touched on 8.5, the next step in UC Squared and our social business checklist is integrating voice through SameTime Unified Telephony. Now, voice is the most fundamental form of human collaboration. It's universal, it's easy, it's inexpensive, it's intuitive, we all know how to do it. Even so, voice is still only one of the collaborative tools that we have at our disposal. But voice itself isn't one thing. It's a highly fragmented experience. You have an office phone, a cell phone, a home phone, a soft phone on your PC, and this week you also have a hotel phone. I don't want to keep track of all these numbers. I don't want to have to think about what's the best way to get a hold of you. This is what SameTime Unified Telephony does. It brings all these things together by fully integrating voice into your collaborative environment. It provides a common user experience, a common set of controls, a common integration point, so that voice services are available to your users wherever they are. And they no longer have to think about the complexity. It's about getting to the person you need, when you need them, the way they want you to interact with them. In 2010, IBM's internal deployment of SUT moved from pilot to production. And get this, home office workers and remote employees in 55 countries around the world are now using this technology. The benefit of this is significant. It represents a significant savings in toll bypass and residential line and mobile lines for our employees. So much so that IBM no longer pays for home office lines for the majority of our employees, saving $30 to $60 per month per employee. We've eliminated many desk phones and the PBX license that goes with it. So, John?
So let me tell you about a same-time reference, and we've got a published case study that should be up on IBM.com about the Finnish Defense Force. And I just want to make a quick comment. We've just told you that same-time is being used in the Super Bowl to provide security services. And here we're telling you that same-time unified telephony is being used by a national defense force to protect its country and operate its military. Right? These are serious applications. There's often talk when you get to unified communications as to whether something is carrier or enterprise grade. Well, if we're driving applications like this off of same time, you can rest assured that it is enterprise grade. Now, one of the things that attracted the Finnish Defense Force to SUT was the fact that they could provide their military personnel with a single phone number. And that phone number reaches them regardless of which computer terminal they're at, which military phone they're using, or which cell phone they might be accessing. So a single unified number makes them reachable anywhere that they actually happen to be. Now, the communications are also encrypted, so they're protected. And if someone joins a call from an unprotected line, a tone plays that everyone else will hear, letting them know that the line is no longer secure. They should obviously watch what they're saying. But because same time then works with their traditional TDM infrastructure as well as their IP infrastructure, their latest state-of-the-art PBXs, they no longer have to worry about what their migration path is. They can shield all of the users from the complexity, from the transitions, and migrate their telephony infrastructure completely independently. One of the other things that's got them really excited about this, though, is you can think about the military. They tend to move a lot. They're setting up bases in different areas. They can deliver voice services to virtually anyone just over an IP network. They don't have to worry about setting up a separate voice infrastructure. So this improves their command and control abilities and has significantly extended their ability to reach down into the field during operations. Now, the other nice thing is they're not just using this for voice services. They're also using for the collaboration capabilities. They're able to reach people and bring them into a same-time meeting using SUT virtually instantaneously. They can share information, they can make decisions, they're transferring files. This has really improved their ability to process information, make decisions, and quite frankly, be more effective in the field, and that helps them save lives. So a really compelling example there. So if you're interested in SUT, well, what should you do? Well, a couple of sessions we want you to hit. And the first one is going to be Lotus Same Time Unified Telephony today and tomorrow, hosted by our own Dave Marshak. And it'll lay out the roadmap of what you can do with Same Time today and where we're taking it. But I also want you to spend a little bit of time with a session from one of our business partners, Meridian IT. They're putting on a great session, the wow factor, how to surprise and delight your enterprise voice architect. So if this is interesting to you, but you're not comfortable broaching that telephony conversation, you don't know how to have that conversation because you're more on the IT side and the collaboration side, Meridian can help educate you on how to have that. Now, the other thing I'd like you to do is if SUT is interesting, is talk to your IBM rep. You can actually try it out for free on Lotus Greenhouse. We'll give you a block of phone numbers, so you don't have to do anything. We'll run all of the infrastructure ourselves. The only thing you have to do is install the same time client. And then you'll be able to take advantage of SUT and kick the tires and determine whether it's right for your organization or show it to some of your executives and get them hooked on it. All right, so we've talked about same time 8.5 and we've talked about integrating voice through SUT. The next section is going to be on embracing mobility. And here's the good news. We're done a lot of the talking. We're going to start to get into some of the demos. But fundamentally, mobility is a fundamental piece, a core part of unified communications. And the answer and the reason why is very simple. Because you used to go to work, and today work is coming to you. Now, think about Lotusphere, probably just 5 years ago. Lines by the payphones as people were trying to check their voicemail and see what was happening at work. Banks of PCs that were being set up all over the place so people could go and check their email. Today, I'm willing to bet 30 to 40% of you are sitting out there with an iPad or some other Android-based tablet. You all have smartphones of one form or another. You're getting your email, you're interacting with your enterprise, and it's coming to you right here in the event. You're doing it at the soccer field, you're doing it at the ballpark, you're working wherever you happen to be, and you're better integrating your life with your work experience and your work with your life. So having support for same time and unified communications on mobile platforms is quite frankly critical. So let me take you through just a little bit of the same time mobility roadmap. On the far side, you can see some of the platforms we have available today. Instant messaging, presence and chat on Nokia devices, on BlackBerry devices, and browser-based services on iPhone devices today. You can kind of consider this a bit of a down payment. As the landscape has moved and changed, we're looking at all sorts of new capabilities. And in 2011, we're going to introduce our first native clients on the iPhone and our first native clients on the Android devices. Thank you. Now, from my perspective, the better thing is it's not just instant messaging and presence. They're also going to have an SUT dialer built into them. That means you can start a phone call from your Android device, It'll talk to the network. It'll show your presence, that you're on the phone. It'll then call you back. The person at the other end is going to see your unified number, so they're going to see their one unified number of how they should get in touch with you. Because we're doing the callback, it's going to take advantage of the least cost routing rules that you've set up by your company. So a great capability, the first, again, down payment on SUT capabilities on both the Androids and the iPhone devices. We're also going to be rolling out meetings on BlackBerries, a long requested feature, one which we're very happy to bring to our customers, especially with the same time 8.5 experience. And we'll be delivering a tech preview of meetings on iOS devices, both browsers, some of which we'll show you in just a moment, and native clients. And you can see we've also mapped out the future. We haven't stopped there with presence and meetings and basic SUT dialing capabilities, but we're giving a long, hard look to bringing the full SUT experience to mobile devices, including things like the soft phone and video conferencing capabilities. Because that's ultimately where our customers are really going to want to go. So enough with me talking. Let me bring out Dave Marshak and Rob Ingram, and let's do a little bit of a demo. So let's switch over to the PC, please.
Okay, so we're going to start, even though we're on a PC here, I'm going to start with my BlackBerry simulator. I would like to gather, you could do it in a real BlackBerry, but you'd all have to gather up on stage and I'd have to show you this way. So I'm going to try this. This is real code though. This is live, so anything could happen. So I'm going to load the application from my BlackBerry device here. And you'll see that I've come to a list of rooms that I've previously worked with. I can search for rooms by name, by person that created the room, find them, and then those rooms are saved on my device essentially as my favorites that I work with all the time. So to get into a same-time meeting from my BlackBerry, I simply connect there and I'm in. And currently, you can see that Caleb Barlow over here is sharing. Caleb, can you moving the slides along here? You see, he's controlling the slides. I'm out on the road. I'm listening to the conference call. I'm looking at the slides. I'm able to participate in the meeting much more effectively. I don't advise doing this when you're driving. So, now, I have other capabilities in here, and we'll show more of this before, another time in one of the sessions tomorrow. But, for example, I can have a discussion area here. I have a participant view. And actually, there's more people in here. John's in and David's in. John, how are you doing this meeting?
Actually, I'm viewing this meeting on my iPad. So if we could switch over to the iPad, please. If we could switch over to the iPad, please. There's no
video.
Well,
everybody come on up.
Yeah. Free iPads.
So we have John, and in fact, Caleb and David are all in this meeting, and none of us are using PCs other than my simulator.
Switch back to your BlackBerry client there. We'll show people this really works. Okay. Open back up that room where I'm presenting. So as you can see, I'm standing here on an iPad,
no hands,
actually presenting, carrying the charts. How about them apples?
And there we are.
There we go.
So what you're seeing on the screen here is a projection of the iPad user interface. It's just the web interface. One of the great things about the way we built same-time meetings is the zero footprint client. We're able to work seamlessly from browsers. In fact, you may have noticed that David was in this as well.
Yeah, I'm on my Sprint Android device here, and I've got a very nice view of what's there, or I can take control and share as well. So wherever you are, however you're connected, you can participate in the meeting.
In fact, I don't think anyone's in this meeting on a PC, are they?
Just my simulator on the PC, unfortunately. Yep. So yeah, we're all mobile, but the idea is we're really extending the reach of meetings to wherever you want to be. Now, another part of mobile that we have here is, we mentioned this morning, the Android client. So I'm going to go over here, and I see David online. So David's chatting to me from the Android device. You can see a couple of things here. His status is on Android. His location is Southwest Orange, Florida. That wasn't something he entered. That came from the GPS on the device. So the location was automatically detected. And you can see also, of course, his mobile status. Now, David can do some interesting things here that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, so for example, I can use the mobile capabilities, which you wouldn't do on a desktop, but on a mobile device, I might just take a picture of you all and send that on to Rob, who might not be able to see you there.
There we go. So we're able to extend the vision. We're doing some other things, and some of the sessions will cover more detail.
Yeah, things such as text-to-speech. So if you're driving in the car and somebody same times you can hear it without having to, have it to your typing in and such. Some pretty good stuff. Now, one of the things that we're working on, and we're talking about telephony here, is the ability to launch a same-time unified telephony call from your Android device or your iPhone device or other devices. So basically, I just clicked on Call Rob. So SUT called me back. When I answer it, it's going to call Rob. It's going to call his unified number, his preferred device.
I'm going to try and grab that back from my mobile phone, go to my computer here, and I'm actually taking the call to David. You notice it came in using David's ID and not his mobile number.
And note that I am off the phone. I am on the phone, off the hook here. And when I go to hang up, I have hung up the call.
You see, his phone presence goes off. So that's same time unified. Thanks. So just a glimpse of some of the things we're going to be delivering this year in mobile. Thanks.
And one last thing just to add to Rob's comments. I mean, we've been playing around with all these devices ourselves. I find I'm addicted to meetings on this because I can walk around, pace around my office or my phone, and I've got my whole meeting right here on this one simple device without even having to be tethered. And I can go back to my PC and multitask if I need to. Thanks, Rob.
All right, let's switch back to the presenter PC, please. Thanks. So if you'd like to learn more about the mobile capabilities that we're going to be delivering, several sessions here about mobile meetings, native meetings and messaging for mobile, unified telephony, of course, what's new and same time. But the thing I'd recommend you do, that Rob will probably hurt me for later, is again, talk to your IBM rep and get involved in the same time beta that's actually going to be kicking off in the next week or so you can get early access to these mobile clients and start playing with them yourselves. Oops.
One of the other areas that we're focusing on in 2011 is video conferencing. Video is one of those things whose time has finally come. And we think it's important you understand the implications of video for your business as well as your network. If we think about video, there are a few things that are kind of immediately obvious. Travel budgets are still under pressure. Cultural changes are starting to make video acceptable. How many of you have used some sort of UC solution, with video to go and check back in on the kids or folks back at home while you're here at Lotusphere?
We don't have access to the big things.
Look around.
No.
These things are becoming ubiquitous. And part of the point here is not just that, a camera's available in your mobile device or your television, but that cultural norms are now getting over the stress and, frankly, video's becoming something that isn't just a toy anymore, it's a useful communications mechanism. So as we think about video, a quality experience is starting to emerge. HD video is available, but these things require higher bandwidth than text or voice and can have a significant impact on your network topology. Oftentimes, existing video systems sit underutilized. Estimates place it at less than 10% utilization for the typical MCU. Yeah. One of the key reasons is often that everyone is required to be sitting in a similarly equipped room system. The key to success in integrating video into the UC experience is common access points, common launch points. Also, integrating devices from different vendors like Tandberg, Polycom, and Radvision. So you can bring it all together with same time in a single meeting, even if you're on same time, John's on Tandberg, and Rob's on Polycom. With SameTime 8.5, we delivered new standards-based video infrastructure, but you could only use it from the SameTime Connect client. With the new version of SameTime, we'll be adding web-based audio and video for online meetings, so you can open your meetings with customers and partners who may not even have SameTime. All they need for a full fidelity meeting experience with voice, video, and a presentation is a browser. Of course, since it's standards-driven, it will work across firewalls and network address translation systems. We'll also be introducing new bandwidth management tools to prevent video from overwhelming your network capacity. So check out these sessions and learn a little bit more about what's coming with video. Rob, could you give us a little walkthrough of some of the things I'm talking about?
Sure. So let's take a look on the ThinkPad again here. I'm going to first show you how we can integrate. And the first demonstration is actually something that's available today, and you can is delivered today and is on show in many of the showcase things downstairs. So what I'm going to do is I'm in a same-time meeting here, and this is a video that enabled meeting. You see there's 5 people already in here. So I'm going to join the call, and if you join the call, this is going to be similar to what we saw this morning in the Ron demonstration. So I'm going to join the call with my computer. I could actually take the call on another endpoint. So as I join the call, you'll notice a little screen flashing up here. I'm joining, in this particular case, we're using a RadVision video conferencing system, and there's my video coming in. You see John's in the meeting. Let me just hide my video here. Sorry, we're getting a little bit of... You start to see David joining downstairs here. I can undock this, make it out a little bit larger. We've got 3 people in here. What if I want to bring somebody in, though, like the showcase downstairs? So I can dial out to other standard endpoints. So if I dial out to a SIP address, this is actually to a unit downstairs in the showcase, and with any luck, we'll be brought into bringing them into the system as well. And while that's going on, there we are. This is a view of the showcase downstairs. All I did was basically have a video call to that. This is a Polycom system downstairs. Let me go to, sorry, one more here. I'm going to dial out back to my office. And this one is, if I remember the number, 0230. This is actually a number, E164 number that's actually going back through a H323 gatekeeper back to our conference system back here. Actually, that one did not.
And of course, if I start talking, I should move up to the top, right? Let's see if it...
Now, if somebody, and if I don't like what Caleb's doing, I can actually, as the moderator, mute Caleb and make him. So let me try that dial out one. That dial out didn't work. Let me try one more time here. But you get the idea is that you're able to dial out to multiple vendors. I probably typed it on. If I don't get it this time, I'm going to hang up and, okay. All right, so let's end this call, and we'll go to the second demonstration, because we'll be showing this again tomorrow morning in my session, which I'm going to end the call here for everyone and leave this session. But this is my session tomorrow morning, tomorrow lunchtime, actually, 1:30 in the afternoon. We'll do more detail on this. Now, the other thing that Caleb mentioned was browsers. So if I go to my web meeting center in same-time meetings, in the next release, we'll have the ability to do video. So I'm going to join the meeting in the normal way here. But if I'm in here, you see there's some people again in this meeting. I now have this video capability in a web browser, and we have implemented this essentially as a lightweight plug-in video component, still standards-based. It can still interoperate with third parties. But now I'm in the video with myself, and I see below John and David are here, so let me mute myself and hide my video.
Try not to get feedback.
So we got David backstage now, a crowd. There's Ron there as well. Ron actually does exist. So he's not on the beach, apparently.
We got him back from the beach.
So anyway, you get the idea. This is showing the name to the same time video, but we could equally have joined one of those conference bridges. And I want to emphasize the standards element of this. You can really mix and match different backends, different endpoints from all the major vendors, provided they're standards-based. So this is really where the same time story is very differentiated, and then now doing it through a browser as well. So that's what we're working on same time video. There's much more besides that we'll cover in the sessions during the course of the week.
Hi, all.
Thanks.
Switch back over to the Mac, please. Thank you. It all worked. Guys, you're still on. So thanks to Rob and Dave and Ron for helping us with this. So we've covered deploying same-time 8.5, integrating voice and video through SUT, embracing mobility, and understand really the implications of video. There's one more component we want to touch on today, and that's understanding some new deployment models. So we're going to touch on two of these today. The first one is what's called a new communications option. And this is just a temporary name as we work through the official packaging, pricing, and naming a little bit later. But when customers were taking a look at same time and taking a look at SUT, they were really excited about the functionality. They thought this was great. But they also said, we want to start smaller. So how do we get moving without having to deploy the full SUT infrastructure? So that's why we came up with this new communications option. So it's simplified video and telephony integration. You're able to use your same-time Connect client as a very basic soft phone. You can make calls. You can receive calls to either a PBX number, a telephone line, or through to a video conferencing system. It doesn't require any infrastructure other than a standard SIP trunk to a certified system. And we'll have a list of certified systems available when this goes GA later in 2011. But we're hoping that this will make it easier for customers to adopt unified communications and telephony and video within their same-time environment. Now, the other deployment option we want to talk to you just a little bit about is cloud and hybrid options. So same-time is one of those really interesting products that works very well on premises and it works very well in the cloud. So if you're deploying same-time on premises today, you can augment it with cloud services. You can link into a BroadSoft-based PBX, for example. You could use audio conferencing from Intercall or from PGI. You could take advantage of SUT functionality that gets delivered from Sprint, for example. If you'd like to run same-time off premises and maybe put that in the cloud or a hosted environment, we have partners that do that too, including Connectria, PGI will do it itself, and now Metrix will run same-time in a cloud environment for you as well. And you can also take advantage of same-time in Lotus Live. And we're not ready to announce it today, but down the road we'll have some future announcements of enhancements into the Lotus Live system based on the same-time technology and functionality. So we're really excited about some of the things we'll be able to tell you about a little bit later in the year. So think about, as you're working through how to become a social business, how are you going to leverage these different deployment models? Because there are a range of different capabilities to help you reach your goals. So now we've covered the UC squared for social business checklist.
So John and everyone else, this is what we need to go through, this checklist over the course of this year. So one of the things that I'd like to ask all of you to do is pull out a business card and write on the back of it where we need to help take you this year and hand it to me after this presentation. If you're not on SUT, write on there, help me get to SUT, help me get to advanced. Hand it to me after the presentation and I will make sure someone gets in a hold of you and we work through the process of moving you up the stack. I'd like to thank all of you for joining. Also, if you want to follow us, you can follow us on the Same Time blog or on Blog Talk Radio, the Unified Communications podcast. Thank you all for coming, and we hope that we'll see you on Same Time.